All right, guys, if this chart looks familiar, it's because 6 months ago, I put out a video very transparently showing you how I was using a very powerful tool to get involved in a stock investment in PayPal. And I showed you how to analyze the stock. I told you my predictions. I told you where I was getting in. And if you're in my community, you'll know where I was looking to get out and ride this thing up to. I can tell you that I'm not only up 33%, where I've taken a 33% win in 6 months, but some of my position is still left on and we're almost hitting 40%. As I stated in that last video, there's not many ways that other retail investors or traders are able to make such great returns unless you know how to use the tools that I shared with you in that video. And since that video, I've had lots of people asking for an update. So in this video, I'm just going to do a quick breakdown of where we're at, what happened, and what you can do about it going forward. So let's get stuck in. So this is the PayPal chart. You can see our inverse head and shoulders. Now, I'll tell you guys, I got in at 58.11. So I'd got in on this lower shoulder, and at the time of the video, which was in 6 months ago now, I showed you guys that I was getting in around 58. 59. I ended up getting in at 58.11. And although that wasn't the bottom, we actually, you know, the low of this shoulder was 55.90s, something like that. I got in at 58.11, but as you can see, we're currently trading at 78.34. Now, I took off the majority, pretty much all of my position. I've got a small piece still on, which I'm riding up to 82, okay, which 82.50. But the majority of my position, where I took 33% hit win, was at 77.50. So I can show you guys, if I got in at 78.11, somewhere around here, and I got out at 77.50, which was around here. Yeah, you can see that that is a nice 33% return. And this was the prediction, actually. These drawings are still from that last video. I didn't want to scrub them off. You can go back and check them. You'll see that this was the prediction. And it's phenomenal, right? Now, I've potentially left some money on the table because, if this rides up and continues to ride up, which I think it might, because I'm just going to show you something in a moment which might still have room for more movement. But at the end of the day, I do these stock picks every 6 months. They're my kind of investment / speculative stock plays where I'm using a skill, I'm using tools, and I'm holding them for 6 to 8 months usually. They're not long-term investments. These are the ones like I did with Moderna, where I've done really well on that. And certain other plays I use to get in and out within a 6 to 8 month period. This was one of those, and I explained that in the last video as well. And if we go over to Forecaster now, you can still see that the average fair value is 152.25. Now, we're trading at 78.34 currently, which means we're still 95% below the fair value of that stock price. And I went through how all of that's calculated in the last video, so I highly recommend you go and check that out right now. I'll leave the video link right here. Other things like the Ben Hashem score, unlikely to manipulating earnings, which is always good. The Petrovsky score is 8, which means the stock's considered to be strong. You can see that's really nice and strong. And also the Altman Z score, which is low risk or moderate to low risk of bankruptcy, which is good. The shareholders' yield has gone through the roof. And the weighted financials here are improving year on year, which is why it's got this score of robust. And that's because it's buying back its shares and it is rewarding its investors, which is always a good sign. Now, if we go to the seasonality now, you're going to see that although I don't trade directly off of seasonality, you can see that when I got involved, it was around here, right? So I wanted to ride this bull run, and I had my target set at 77.50 and a small portion at 82.50. Now, for the rest of this, until we get into end of November, December time, seasonally, it's always been a pretty bearish market. Unless you're trying to pick these kind of couple of weeks here, couple of weeks there, it's a bearish ride. So that correction or retracement, I it's great for me to be out of. You know, a 6-month period where I've had a great bull run. I want to let the market breathe and reset, and then I'm looking at where I could potentially get back in. So I'm keeping my eye on the fair value of the stock, but I'm also looking at where the optimal entries are. Okay, and for me, that will be the end of November now. So I'm going to pull my position out, capitalize on that, reassess, come back towards the end of November and do exactly the same analysis that I did in the previous video on this stock again. Okay, and I'll see where we're at, and potentially around the 3rd week in November as be where I would look to ride this thing up again. Okay, and I'll do a video nearer the time when we get to that to show you guys what I'm looking at, where I'm looking at getting in, and where I'm looking at getting out again. But I've had a ton of requests for this video. I thought I'd share a quick update. It's, you know, if you haven't watched the video, go and watch the video. And honestly, if you don't watch that video, you're going to miss a trick. You're going to miss out massively. So go and check it out. If you want Forecaster, I'll leave a link for Forecaster in the description of this video. I'll also leave, you know, any other links that I think will be valuable to you so that you can go and get these things and use them at your disposal to your advantage. Until next time, take care. I'll see you then.